Akwaba Medofupa. Welcome to the channel once more. Today we are making this Agushie stew with tuna and cabbage. It's just so yummy, yet very quick and simple to make. I'm very sure it will become part of your weekly menu. It's so delicious. So let's get cooking. Sit tight and let's get straight into it. So for the ingredients, you need some onions, some anchovies in oil, some green seasoning, some palm oil, some spices, the agushie, ground agushie, of course, some cabbage, some plum tomatoes, tuna, or any protein of choice. So with the palm oil, you can swap for vegetable oil, but the palm oil brings in nice earthy flavors. Also, the anchovies, if you want to make this dish purely vegetarian or vegan, you can swap with dawa or any kind of ingredients that adds umami flavors to your dish. The link for the full recipe is provided in the description box. So let's get started. In a heated pot, we go in with the palm oil and warm it up. Once it's warm, go in with the onions. The onions can be sliced, chopped or blended if you prefer, and then go in straight with the anchovies, including the oil. It brings in the flavors, and go in with some green seasoning. If you have the green seasoning to hand, it just makes this dish so quick and easy. Or you could, just add some powdered stuff to make up for it. Saute this beautifully for about 3 minutes, and then it is good and ready for the next step. Once it has sauteed beautifully, go in with the plum tomatoes. My choice is plum tomatoes. If you're using the canned stuff, it gives you lots of flavor rather than the chopped tomatoes. You can use fresh tomatoes as well, which will be fantastic. Then go in with your spices. I use 7-spice blend, the pepper mix for Kelewele, the 10-spice blend to bring in all these traditional umami flavors from the motherland. The pepper mix added in a bit of heat as well because my green seasoning already has some pepper in it, so that is optional. Now, to help the plum tomatoes cook, you have to break it down using your spoon, or you can use your kitchen scissors to cut it up, or maybe you can blend it and cook it, but there's no need. Remember, we are trying to cook this as quick and as easy as possible, so you just use your spatula to break it up and it will cook beautifully. So whilst that is cooking, it's time to work on the agushie, and to do this you use ground agushie, add in some salt, add in some boiled water, just enough water to help mix it into a nice slurry paste. Once that is done, set it aside for it to rest for some couple of minutes until your tomato base is well stewed. Now, so this agushie stew has to go down with something. So my choice was one of my favorites, ripe plantain, right? But you can equally serve this agushie stew with boiled yams, fluffy white rice, eba, kenke, you name it. It just goes well with anything. So when you have this agushie stew in your fridge as a weekday meal, prepped already, you are good to go. But today, I went down with some ripe plantain, and it was so delicious. I hope you are enjoying this recipe and you are going to try some for yourself and your family to enjoy. Let me know by commenting, liking, and sharing. All right, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to turn on your notification button for delicious traditional recipes like this. Now checking on the stew base, it wasn't well cooked. The tip here is you want all of that chunky plum tomatoes to stew down, melt, and be properly stewed. That's how the flavors get enhanced and get married together. So as you can see here, there were still big chunks of tomatoes in the sauce. So the stew base was not ready yet, right? We need to keep it cooking. Now the tomato base is ready for the next step. It's nice and well stewed. So you season the base with some salt because we've already added in all the spices. So it's just a bit of salt to bring out the taste. But we need to be mindful that some salt was added to the Agushie slurry. So we need to go gently on the salt at this point. Otherwise, you have a very salty Agushie. Just enough to bring out the flavors in the tomato stew. And then go in with the Agushie slurry. Once you get everything in, we don't want to waste anything. Yes, so get everything out of the pot into from the pot into the pan, and then cover it. Give it about 3 minutes for it to scramble. This stage is very important. People complain that they are not able to get that scramble effect with Agushie because, one, you are not allowing it time to scramble. It's a bit like cooking eggs. 2, you are not using a wider pan to give the Agushie a nice surface area, a big surface area for it to cook beautifully. So even with my pan here, although I had a much wider surface area, the middle bit was not cooked. So going back in after 3 minutes of steaming and gently stirring it, pushing the middle bit to the outer part of the pan helps it to scramble. The middle bits which were not scrambled to scramble because the edges were scrambled first. So again, open it up again so that most of the area of the Agushie gets heat from the pan so that it can scramble beautifully like this. This is the tip with Agushie, and allow it to steam and cook on a gentle to medium heat for some 3 to 5 minutes to remove all the rawness for the Agushie. Another tip is use the best Agushie. Some Agushie, ground Agushie has a rancid taste. So the best Agushie is what you need, okay? And then once the Agushie is cooked, go in with your cabbage, put in as much or as little as you prefer, and then season it with some spices. I use 10 spice blend here. Allow it to steam a bit, and then mix it all into one and allowed it to marry by letting everything infuse beautifully. Once that was done, I went in with the tuna. So you can substitute the tuna for any kind of protein you prefer or take it out, okay? Don't forget to click on that subscription button and like button or comment because I want to know if you are here enjoying this recipe. Okay, so now that the stew is almost ready and I'm allowing it to marry, it was time to cook the plantains. So depending on what you're cooking, you may want to start it off earlier or later. So plantains don't take that long to cook. So yes, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to cook and it's ready. And then you can enjoy it with your Agushie stew. Everything in under 30 minutes. A weekday meal easily prepared on the go, or you can prep it and keep it. It keeps well in the fridge or in the freezer for when you need it. Look how beautiful this sauce is. I hope you can smell it. A friend said to me, I can smell this food in my phone. I was like, virtual smelling. So it's just an easy recipe, easy to replicate. Make it your own and enjoy with the family. The full recipe is on the website. Please check the description box. And always I'd love to hear back from you. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this recipe and you are going to try it. See you soon in my next video. Bye-bye.